I think it's important for young women to know that they can do anything that they set their mind to, irrespective of social expectations or stereotypes. Since I started my career within a STEM-related subject, I've made it a priority to ensure that other young people, particularly women, are aware of the opportunities that a career in STEM can offer them. So I've established working relationships with local schools and colleges in order to ensure that people can consider an opportunity in a career perhaps they hadn't thought of before. As a young child, I wasn't actually aware that if I wanted to, I could be a scientist or an engineer or an astronaut or something like that. Like, typically those are seen as male kind of subjects, but I think it's important to have positive female role models to enforce the view that actually, yes, you can, and you can do it just as well, if not better. I volunteered within General Dynamics UK to become a mental health first aider. I think it's increasingly important for people to be aware that mental health is just as important as physical health, and to be aware of how to have good mental health and practice good self-care, and just to have somebody to turn to for support if they need it. It's a good feeling to be nominated by people you admire for just doing what you enjoy and what you're passionate about. I would hope that it would serve to further encourage young women to actually follow their dreams despite what social expectations are, and think if one young lady thinks, oh, she's a little bit like me, maybe I can do it as well, then I've definitely achieved a goal.
I'm the founder of My Future app, so I've created an app that connects young people to the world of work. So if you think about the growing number of young people that are not going to university, those young people that have decided university isn't for them, or they can't afford it, or don't think they can achieve that, what are the platforms out there for them? And that's where we come in. So we connect those young people that are not going to university with jobs, courses, apprenticeships, volunteering positions. We set up a social enterprise. I want to protect our social objectives, and the whole reason why we set up My Future is to help those furthest from the labour market. We're now in forced generational poverty in the valleys in particular, and those young people are not getting support at home, and those young girls are maybe being shipped into more traditional routes. We want to inspire them, and we want to get our app into their hands and really mobilise a generation towards employability. We are really passionate and keen to promote STEM opportunities to women in particular. The app is 100% gender neutral, so regardless of whether you're a boy or a girl, you'll see the exactly same opportunities. So we're reducing barriers that way, but also we're developing digital skills bursts that will help young girls develop STEM awareness. I think we get maybe disillusioned by the whole STEM and the statistics and things like that, when actually it's really encouraging right now in Wales in particular. So I think we just jump on that and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and it just so happens to be in STEM, and that's great, because there's such a network out there that are willing to help young people. I just see myself as a facilitator, so I think as natural as I stay, I can, maybe encourage more girls to kind of take up this direction.
I do science engagement sessions. I go into local schools in Blaen y Gwent and teach about all different aspects of science. Everything from the human body to ecology, which is the subject I did my degree in. I started my sessions because my son, who has autism, when he was in school, they were doing forest schools, and I had a letter home saying that he wasn't able to join in with forest schools because of his autism. I didn't think that was fair, so I decided that I was going to start something for children with autism so that they could take part in sessions like that, and we would cater to the disabilities rather than just excluding them because of them. So I started offering my sessions to different schools, managed to get funding from the National Lottery, and yeah, it went from there. A key determinant of young people going into a career in science is usually contact time with someone who is a professional in science. And generally in Blaen y Gwent, children don't have access to those kind of people. And I think it's changing the opinions of, who scientists are and what they do and what they're like, and making it more, I don't know, I guess approachable and engaging for children. I've really struggled with my mental health and self-confidence and things like that for a long time, and I think I am proud of everything, and I hope that this continues into the future. And I think if in the future I'm able to look back and think, I change things for the better in Blaen y Gwent, or I change the landscape for children with autism. You know, I was able to include them more in this kind of thing and made it fairer for them. I think I'll be very proud, yeah.
I am a professor at the university in anatomy and physiology and pathophys, so I teach a range of subjects, blood, digestion and so on. But I have actually got a huge passion for insects, and a lot of my work involves wounds and maggots. And my research particularly focuses on maggot therapy. We have this yuck factor. We have not just patients, but also clinicians that are quite reluctant to consider maggots as a treatment for their patients with wounds. And so I decided in 2016 that I needed to launch this sort of mission, this campaign called Love a Maggot, where I would try very hard to try and change this negative perception and try and increase the acceptability of maggots as a wound therapy. I go all around the world talking about maggots to various wound clinicians to say, you know, this is the evidence. You really need to use this. It's not just a last resort treatment. I'm a STEM ambassador, so I do go a lot into schools and I talk to boys and girls about it, but I think it's really important that women know that they can go into STEM and that they can excel at STEM subjects and do things really well. Because we do know in the sciences and in maths and in engineering, we have a huge shortage of women applicants. And I'm really desperate to change that. And by going into schools with really effective female role models for women, for girls to appreciate that, yes, this can be done and it can be done by us and we can do physics and maths and computer science. That's really what I'm trying desperately to do. If the passion is there, I think women can do it. They can do anything.